If you're vibe coding production apps without security audits, you are shipping vulnerabilities faster than you can find them. OpenAI announced Aardvark, an agentic security researcher that's going to scan the code base, discover vulnerabilities, and submit patches. But this is a private beta only at the moment. In this video, I'll show you my open source alternative, 20 specialized security agents that work with Claude Code, or you can modify them for your AI agent, available for free right now. I'll walk you through what the attack vectors they cover, show them running on a real code base, and by the end, you'll have the same system we use at our agency. These security agents are finding issues that human code reviews missed, not intentionally, by accident. For those new here, I run an AI dev agency and the AI first school community. Let's get started. Let me walk you through what attack vectors these 20 security agents are checking. I'm going to use an example of a simple marketplace where we're buying and selling services or products. Okay, here's what can go wrong and how the AI agent checks that particular attack vector. So this one checks if the authentication implemented cannot be hijacked and it's implemented using best practices. We use Superbase Auth. You can change it to Clerk Auth or whatever, but essentially what you're checking is the login sign up functionality, the cookie, the session tracking functionality correct or not? This agent checks more on your backend APIs. Let's say you've got things like create listing, edit listing, or process a payment. Only authenticated users should be able to access these endpoints. Logged out or public users should not be able to access those. This is just checking authentication, okay? Logged in only. Authorization, key concept, is the right person checking it. Edit listing is the listing owner passing through on this API endpoint. So this agent is checking for authorization. Separate agents for authentication, separate agent for authorization. This agent actually needs a business rule documentation, and I've got a separate agent that scans the code base and generates a business rules document. That document is passed to the authorization checker. So this one is only checking process payments, edit listing. Is the owner of the listing or the right person accessing this API endpoint? The next agent is security at the database level. So is the concept called defense in depth. We add layers of security everywhere. Now at the database level, are there checks that this user can only access their own orders, or this user can edit their own listings? That's the RLS coverage checker. In our Next.js plus Superbase stack, we can place Next.js server actions, API routes. We can also check database functions and views and triggers. This backend auth checker is checking for those, again, the same business rules authorization. Superbase has a very helpful advisory section where the cloud dashboard is like, okay, you're making these mistakes. So this agent's checking for those advisories. Next area is input security. So in our marketplace example, if somebody's creating a listing and he starts adding random JavaScript in the listing description, we want to validate those inputs. The listing title should be only X, and this validation should be done at the back end. The front end client side validation is one thing, but the API has to do back end validation as well. So this agent's checking for validation across everywhere. The next is database query checker. Let's say somebody's making a listing and it just writes drop tables or something. We don't want those types of things to go into our database in the first place. So again, checking for database query injection attacks. If I'm going too fast, I'll link in the description below this helpful document from Replit and this helpful video where Matt explains all of these a lot more in depth. I want to get to like running these agents quickly. URL validation. So we don't want somebody from our website to go to some malicious URL. So this one checks for validation and redirect errors. There's a whole bunch more here. So the secrets checker is super important. Make sure there is no secret leaking anywhere. The code and client-side code, various security headers, rate limit checker, every endpoint needed. File upload checkers in our marketplace, for example, if we want to only allow a certain set of types of files, we don't want executable files. Dependency checker, you may be running Node.js packages or whatever framework which has known vulnerabilities. This one checks for dependencies. Now, how did I make them? I actually found another security agent from Twitter and this Claude repo that this is a enterprise level security auditor, audit process, and it goes through all of these systematic vulnerabilities. These are known vulnerabilities and attack vectors. I didn't come up with these by myself. What I did that instead of having one mega prompt do this in the whole code base, I just split all of these out into sub agents. So each of these agents generates a report, and then the security meta-analyzer aggregates the report. I personally find that to be a bit more efficient than just one master agent. Claude has its own slash commands for security review. They check for the same sort of attack vectors of injection attacks, authentication authorization attacks, input validation attacks, supply chain vulnerability. So it's a known set of attack vectors. It's not something new. These are like one single prompt thing. And I just went and, okay, I want to make 20 different agents and just aggregate the reports. So now let's try running them on a code base. Before we try running this on a code base, I'd really appreciate if you smash that like button. It helps others find videos similar to this. So this is a link in bio clone SaaS I made for the 0 to 1 SaaS build course in my school community. I'm going to run these agents on this entire code base. The first thing to do is I'm going to copy all of these agent files into the .claude and agents folder. And then you need to make sure you exit and restart your Claude thread, okay? Because you can't just copy files into agents and expect it to get them into the context. The next thing is to make sure you have a MCP file and make sure you connect your mcp.json. We use Supabase. You can connect different backend if you want. The key thing that I've asked the agents to do is to get access to the latest documentation from Supabase, get access to the latest schema. Just going through migration files gets a bit hard for the agents to understand, and you can use this to access the advisories as well. It's not essential, but definitely super useful. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is initialize the authorization rules writer agent. Please use the authorization rules writer to generate the rules document. Okay, now what this agent is doing, it's going to scan my entire code base because we've got multiple projects in the agency. I was like, okay, I want a generic document of what are the key rules. Marketplace, these are the rules. Link in bio platform, SaaS, these rules. So I have a generic agent that's going to come up with the generic rules. I can draft it myself, but it uses the code base to try and come up with the business rules. And then after that, definitely you have to review it very carefully. Is it capturing the right edge cases? Is it capturing the right methodologies? Like, is it for marketplace? Can they chat? Okay, in-app chat is allowed, in-app chat is not allowed. Who can see whose listings? If you publish a listing as public, then it's visible. Otherwise, it's not visible. These types of things. So this agent is actually scanning the code base and trying to come up with a reference document. It's fairly okay. I only have to make subtle modifications the more I've run it. Okay, it missed a little edge case here because I've got the whole overall product project context. So I add a few more rules, but as a base draft, it generates a really solid document. While this agent is working, if you find content like this around AI workflows and AI development workflows useful, subscribe to the channel. I post weekly around all things AI. So this AI agent is done. It's created my rules document. I can give it a once owner and check that users who are not logged in, they can view the public link, but they cannot create or manage content. Regular users can manage their own. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Definitely review this super carefully. If there's a mistake here, the other agents won't work well and they could get things completely wrong. The step after this is super easy. Please run all the AI security agents in parallel. Now for the fun part, you get to look at Claude spinning up agents in parallel, checking the entire code base in around about 5 to 10 minutes. It really hammers the Claude rate limit. So we've got the 200 a month max subscription. It churns through tokens super quick because it's loading the entire code base and just going through 20 agents in parallel. While that's happening, I can just quickly do a little bit of a promotion around the AI first community. There's about 100 of us from around the world learning AI development workflows. There's a whole classroom section with like more crash course, a complete SaaS build, wireframing, environment setup, a whole bunch of stuff. And there's live weekly Q&As as well, and lots of engaging discussions in the community as well. So link in the description below to join. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to flicker a bit. It's just too much. You can run one by one and check one by one. It's just a bit faster and easier to let it run in parallel. And once it generates all the reports, all I have to do is use the meta-analyzer to analyze and aggregate all the different reports. The different reports are heavy and dense, and I do have to sometimes validate, is this even an actual issue? There are definitely false positives. I'm not going to say this is going to solve all security forever, but it just helps catching a whole bunch of stuff ahead of time. Are packages up to date? Are there no vulnerabilities? There's a whole bunch of stuff here that it catches. So some of the client reports are being generated. I'm trying to allow all edits. Even though I've given allow all edits, sometimes it still asks permission. Should I write or should I not write? So the client secrets report is generated. The query injection report is generated. The business logic report is generated. For example, the client secrets report, we can just preview and have a look. Overall status secure, minor recommendations. There's one hard-coded IP salt fallback something. These things can be fixed. You can double check with Claude. Let's see, query injection report. Open preview, the audit examined, zero critical injection vulnerabilities found. It's okay. Rate limited. I know I've recorded this course. I did not add any rate limiting here. So this will be a problem. Yep. Critical rate limiting gaps found. It's very easy to add rate limiting. You can use Upstash. While recording this zero to SaaS build course, I just didn't do it. So this is a good angle of like what can go wrong. Okay. There's a whole bunch of stuff that can go wrong without rate limiting if your app starts to gain traction. If you have a zero users problem, well, you have a zero users problem, not a rate limiting problem. But yeah, so a whole bunch of reports getting generated, more still coming through. And after this, all I'll do is please use the security meta analyzer agent to generate an overall report. Once all of these have run and the whole report is done, then of course I have to actually take a look. Is this a problem? Is this not a problem? Is this a now problem? Is this a business problem? Sometimes what it does is in the admin dashboard, you're not checking for input validation. Well, the admin dashboard is for me. I don't want to like hack my own app. So that's not an issue. It's still technically a security issue, but it's not a business or a practical issue. So I'm not going to go through all of them and go one by one and deep dive. It's going to be very technical and dense that way. So that's it. 20 agents that audit your entire security surface area automatically. So the link to the GitHub repo is in the description below. If you want professional help, we build apps for clients at our agency. You can book a call through the link. And if you want to learn how to build production apps with AI tools yourself, you can join the AI First community on School, link in the description below. If this helped you, hit subscribe. I share real production workflows and tools like this every week. Thanks for watching. Bye.